think when people hear the phrase living the faith, they're asking a question of what does it mean for Christianity to be my daily walk? How is it integrated into my everyday life? The things I do every day with my family, my work, my community. In the book of James, we hear the familiar phrase, be doers of the word and not hearers only. And we're invited, I think, to spend a lifetime figuring out what that means. It means, first of all, a way of approaching your work, your life as a parent, your family life, your working life, your life in community. How is all of that an expression of Christian faith? How does the teaching of God's love for the world in Jesus Christ, God's love for you in particular, redeeming grace, how is that lived out? What implications does that have for how you relate to other people? The two great commandments are to love God with all of ourselves and our neighbors as ourselves. And so the lifetime question is, who is my neighbor and how do I love them? Christianity probably has a lot to learn from some other religious traditions around this question of living out the faith. For some traditions which are less concerned about doctrine and more concerned about what we sometimes call practices, this seems a little clearer. If you're Jewish, if you're an observant Jew, there are many things that you do every day, ways that you shape your life that remind you or ground you in the law of Moses. What are some of these things that we might think about for Christians? Some of what we'll talk about in our time together. Well, the basic practices of daily prayer, meditation, Bible study. That's one way we live the faith, is by putting into practice a daily prayer life. Coming to worship in community is another deeply important way that we can shape our lives around Christian practice and around God's call to love God, to respond to God's goodness and grace. For many people, living the faith means particularly being engaged in service, in acts of reaching out to others in need, giving of oneself in terms of time, resources, creativity to help others in need. For others, the call to live their daily faith has been acted out in the work of advocacy or social justice, social change, working for transformation. These kinds of activities for many people are modern day ways of preaching good news to the poor and recovery of sight to the blind and expressing liberty, bringing liberty to those who are oppressed. And for others, the way in which you live out your faith is by telling the good news, by sharing your own story, witnessing to God's love verbally, by helping others to know what this faith is about, why it's important, how it can transform your life. So living the faith probably has as many different meanings and responses as there are people who are actually trying to live it.